If you run a sales team or have a team of employees that are also in charge of business development, you're probably used to receiving a lot of excuses on why their specific sales goals weren't met. As a sales manager to hundreds of teams across the nation, I'm used to receiving every single excuse under the sun of why specific sales goals weren't achieved. And today I want to talk about a few questions you could ask as follow-ups in order to be able to help the person achieve their goals and uncover where the real challenges actually are. So let's get started. The first excuse you may be used to receiving is, I just didn't have time to get to this. I just didn't have time to write all those emails, to take this person out to lunch because I also have a day job, which is to service clients. I just didn't have time to research this prospect, etc. A great follow-up question you could ask is, well, if you had unlimited time in the world, what would you actually do with that time for business development? Here, you could really understand if this person actually knows how to manage their day if their sole responsibility was business development. Do they even have a process in place? Because if you're really good at having a systematized business development process, it actually could be boiled down to 15 to 30 minutes a day of actual manual work. The rest is to set up actual meetings and go to the meetings. So if the person doesn't know what to do, isn't maximizing technology, isn't automating it, then something could be going awry, and that's where a sales coach or sales trainer could help them. The second excuse that you may be receiving from your sales team is that the prospect's just not available. He's traveling, he's on vacation, he said to follow up after the holidays. Well, a great question you could ask as a follow-up is, what's the format of communication for this prospect? If he's been on email or phone, he or she is carrying that around with him. So did you show the real value of what working with you would be? Because nowadays, we can't use the excuse of, I just didn't get to my emails, because we're glued to it. So it may mean that the value just wasn't sold. Look, if you also sell to me about my insurance needs or what I should do, what I need to do, I'll also try to find excuses of not replying to you. But if you give me a value that's so exciting that I do want to reach out to you and it shows opportunities, upside, and aspiration, then you better believe I'm going to be giving you a call back. And the third excuse you may be getting from your people, the prospect's just not ready with the call to action or the action that needs to happen in order for them to work with you. For example, the divorce hasn't finalized, or he hasn't sold his business, or he hasn't changed jobs yet. Well, in those situations, it's really important to know that the minute the actual event happens is the worst time that the person should be calling this prospect, because that time the prospect's going to be super busy. So a follow-up question you could be asking is, what can you do now in order to get the ball rolling? Have you opened up an account that's not fully funded just to get that fully in place? Have you joined this prospect on meetings with his M&A bankers? There are so many things you could be doing now and not just waiting there for the cash to flow in. So make sure you're asking about what are the activities you could do now to move the ball forward. There's so many other excuses that I hear, and I'm sure you do too. And if you need follow-up questions or if you need a sales trainer to help you with all these, reach out.